Alright, if this does work, but then, here, and welcome. This is gonna be my top 10 drivers I will be cheering for this next season, for this NASCAR Cup Series for the 2018 season. Now, I will be showing you my top 10 that I will be rooting for maybe for to win a championship, and I didn't put this in there, and maybe some races, so. And just a quick warning and understand, this is my top 10 of my votes. So, some you can't agree, some you can't disagree. So, here's how this works. I didn't put this in. Maybe 10 to 6 is maybe at least to win a race. And the top 5 maybe for championships. So, that's going to be how this whole thing works. So, let's get down to business with the countdown. Number 10, Kurt Busch. Why I choose Kurt Busch? If you remember the method from back, Jeff Gordon winning 2001 and retired 15, same thing with Stewart and Matt Kenseth. Well, don't know if this year, if it's a possible, if it's going to be the final year for him, possibly for a championship. But his last year's Daytona 500 win, which finally he earned, has earned him some potential to maybe be contended again, and he always has been. And of course, he did hit the round of 8 twice already in 14 and 15, ever since the format of that new chase format. So yeah, we'll see what happens for Kurt Busch, if it's going to be the final year or not. Number 9, Clint Boyer. Now, I think I would love to see Clint Boyer up there, because I think he's pretty awesome and a funny guy and all that. Hadn't had a championship run since 2012. I mean, I would love to see him in the playoffs. And if you've been following, and you might know this, but if you're following Drunken Brian France from Twitter and stuff, then you might understand why. So, obviously, yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but he had 9 top 3 finishes ever since he hasn't won since Charlotte in the fall of 2012. So that's why the Drunken Brian France name came around. So I'd love to see him up there, at least to get a win. Bad Brad Keselowski for 8. Um, there are some places that he is going to be very good at. I know he's a Talladega material because he won there 5 times. I don't know how necessarily call him like a championship contender. I mean, yes, he is a playoff contender, the way I look at this, but I don't know if it's strong enough for for him to make it to the Final Four, which he barely got lucky on back last season. So, yeah. Number 7, Kevin Harvick. So, I mean, ever since he signed with Stewart Racing and with the new format in the playoffs back in 2014, here's the craziest fact if anybody hadn't noticed this. Oh, crap. Sorry. Kevin Harvick has been into the championship for 3 times from out of the past 4 years. And here are the 3: 2014, 2015, and 2017. The surprise, a little bit of surprise to me going back and look at some of the stuff, that average-wise, Kevin Harvick's pretty good for the early parts of the season. Sometimes the struggles of it like gets him late in the regular season, and then when it comes to playoffs times, I think playoffs times during like those times when the 3 out of the 4 years is really during the playoffs, he's been very strong. So I honestly want to keep an eye on that. And of course, number 6. Now I don't know if that's possible. Sorry, Jimmy Johnson's fans. But Jimmy Johnson might be possible for a championship for contender. But one of the facts I put down there, the last time that Jimmy won the championship was after finishing 10th of the year before. So if you look at this, 2014 was 11th. Before the championship year 2016, in 2015 he finished 10th. And here 17th, here 2017 finished 10th in the standings. So would that be a possible that could that be a possible that he might be up there to go for 8 championships to beat the impossible? We may not know. Alright, now the top 5 is going to be basically possibly my championship contenders. Number 5, Mr. Joey Logano himself. Now why? I know you might be Joey Logano haters out there. I mean, ever since what happened for back 2015, I mean, he can do it. I seen him do it, so I mean, and another thing, that ever since the format, half of those times, ever since from the 2014 new chase format, ever since, he has been into the championship for twice. 2014 finished in 4th, and 2016 finished 2nd. And it's possible that maybe he could take up that one more step on that championship for this next season, and hopefully try to put 2015 and 27 behind. If you know 2017 was that incumbent win, and even though 2015 was his best year, but got interrupted if you remember the whole dust up from him and Matt Kenseth, and then that big disappointment from Texas, and that rain delayed that, which he didn't make it on a must-win situation. Number 4, now you might be surprised, it is Ryan Newman. Now you wonder why I put Ryan Newman in there. He's very creative. He's like one of the most creative drivers that can always go for a risky call. Like if you remember back in 2014, I mean, this is a lot of skill that I'm surprised that he did it. That Ryan Newman almost won the championship in 2014 without a win. That's awesome. And if you do remember back at Dover last season and during the chase, Chase Elliott leading, he was trying to get past Ryan Newman. I mean, of course, yes, Chase Elliott does have a little bit of a struggle trying to get through lap down cars than some other drivers. But Ryan Newman, sometimes he can be tough to pass whenever there's a situation that is on the line during a race and all. So he's a tough one to pass. Number 3, and yes, how about a rookie? How about a rookie going in? How about William Byron? Pretty awesome for it. He wore number 9 for most of his life, but now since coming into the number 24 this year, he's got that like aggressive like Jeff Gordon does. And of course, another fact, this was back last season. I think, I could be wrong, you can put this in the comments or whatever. I think he was the second rookie to win the Xfinity Championship in the number 9 car. I know Chase did. I know Chase Elliott did, so I'm just not sure. So, oh, and speaking of the 9 car, yes, my boy, well, William Byron's also my boy, but my other boy, Chase Elliott. He's putting that number into his family's name, and gonna get some good most popular driver awards with it, because like his father Bill, he won so many most popular drivers, had 7 runner-up finishes in 16 and 17, and just like William Byron, like I show in the countdown, he won the championship in the 9 car. Now, Now, one thing I noticed this Daytona 500, he took the pole twice in his first 2 years. Was it possible that he would keep going, get the Daytona 500 pole again? And my question is this, I know he will get a win this season, but could it be possible for him to get a win in this season, maybe to start at the Daytona 500 with the new number? Now, honorable mentions is, I know I had two, but I think it was supposed to say three. But I'm gonna actually supposed to say four, but I'm gonna say four. One of them I didn't put on the list, I just noticed, but Ryan Blaney is in my honorable mention list. He can do it, so he knows how to work on that car, so he's a pretty good driver. So now most of this list is a restricted plate deal, but they're great maybe for underdogs. So Trevor Bayne is one of them to me. I mean, to be fairly honest, Trevor Bayne hasn't won a race since the greatest upset of all, the Daytona 500 back in 2011. And of course, it is a restricted plate material to watch for. I know he can do it. 17, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now, I don't know why I picked this one, but yeah. So, like Trevor Bayne, it is a restricted plate material. He had 2 wins last season, first 2 career wins, and they were Talladega and Daytona. So basically, I'm looking at this. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is a restricted plate dealio, even though he made the playoffs, but had problems with consistency through most of the time. So that's why he's in there. David Reagan, I know, time to time he has good runs, and he knows he can hit the spotlight. But to me, I'd love to see him to get at least a win for a maybe pretty good upset. Hasn't won a race since the spring in Talladega in 2013, and he's best known for the restricted plates. And now, my number one will be for the championship, and I call him the Truth, aka Martin Truex Jr. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Why I choose him? I call him the king of stages. I mean, ever since Stage Points has came around with the new logo, the new name, and with the new system of the format, which they still kept the playoff format. Martin Truex Jr. has been the king of stage winnings. He had of stages, and he has won about 20 of the 108 stages of the season. That is pretty good. And going back, I looked through some of the career wins he has in the past, and from out of this year alone, he has multiplied the career wins that he had before the 2017, and he got about 8 from this past championship year. So, I mean, in his interview, like after that race, he mentioned Dale Jr. And he said he would have done it without him, and Dale Jr. gave him some great opportunities to ride. And you know what? I have a lot of respect for him. Now, I know some of you could criticize, like, this Toyota dominance again and all that stuff, but you know what? That's just a new system to all that. I mean, I know I have problems with complaining about that as well, but it is what it is, you know? So, honestly, I'm not going to judge anybody for it. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation, and that is my top 10 with honorable mentions. So hopefully you all enjoy it, and I'll see you all maybe in the next presentation or / video. Bye bye.